Primeau fan.
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around. And I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Primeau Show. It is episode 266, and we are going to be talking about, is AI a friend or a foe of your business? With my friend Joe, president of Sonic Digital Marketing. Let's pay the bills first, and we will get right to it. If you haven't bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? If you need more traffic, more profit in your business, this is a great marketing book for you. Best compliment I ever got from my friend Doug Stewart was, take the word mattress and furniture out. It's just a great marketing and great business book. If you want a sales book, I've got a sales book for you. Just finished this and published it last year. Miles and miles of retail selling greatness. We figured out that I've traveled over 2 million miles by car. So that doesn't even include airline miles. And 43 years of experience, plus it gets better. Because when I finished the book, I asked, what's changed? What could we do better? And I asked a few of my friends to go ahead and jump in and be co-authors with me. So Chris Tahaney was a contributing author, Jeff Giannakovo, Scott Vaughn, Brent Batterman, Steve Carnes, Justin Trumbo, Randy Thompson, also known as the Adjustable Bed Guru, Mark Klingenberg, Keith Cassinguy, and Mel Opp all contributed to this book. Think of this as a handbook. It's literally 3 years worth of sales meetings in the palm of your hand. So 3 years worth of weekly sales meetings in your hand for $20. Come on. It's ridiculous. Anyway, Chris, if you have not joined Mattress Industry Network group, what are you waiting for? It's an absolutely free Facebook group. I don't know how many people are in here. I think it's well over 2,000, might be pushing 3,000. If you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed, join this group. It's 100% free. And thank you to Greg, and thank you to Steve for sponsoring the Pete Primeau Show. We appreciate you. And join the group. If you're not in this group, everybody's in here, whether you're a store owner or you work at a store, you're a sales pro, you're a VP of sales, you're a sales rep, you own a manufacturing company. Everybody's welcome. Join us in here. It's a great group to belong to. If you have some mattress RSAs, some sales pros at retail who have done great things, we want to hear about those stories. How did they change Mrs. Jones' life for the better? We want to hear your stories. You do not need to give us the most perfect thing in a certain kind of a file. Just get it to my friend Chris Tahaney, who is spearheading this effort at Mattress RSA Stories. Mattress RSA Stories at gmail.com. Chris will clean it up for you. If you feel like you're not a great writer, but you have a great story and you really change the life of a consumer, get that story to Chris. He'll polish it up. He'll email it back to you for your approval. And then if your story's chosen, you might just be in the book. It's going to be a great book. It's a great service to the industry. Thank you, Chris Tahaney, for doing this. Appreciate you. If you are serious about the mattress business and you don't belong to MRT, I don't know what you are waiting for. Whether you know whether you're a big store or a small store or medium-sized store, there are so many things in this great group that you really need uh, to get into. It will help you actually become who you are always meant to be. And that is the visionary, that is the executive of your business, and not just working in your business. Um, Whether you need more store traffic, you need systems, you need to get organized, whatever it is that you need, there's something in this group for you. There's 2 trainings every month. There is so much value. It's easily $4.99 a month value. I think it's still $97 a month. Hit that QR code right there and sign up for MRT. You'll be glad you did. My friend Jeff Janakovo runs that along with one of his mentors, Mike Capuzzi. They do a great job. I attend the live events whenever I can, and it's a great group. Guys, join it. Chris, got anything else? Hey, Joe.
Hey, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, Pete.
So, is AI a friend or a foe of your business? That is a great question.
It is. And the fact of the matter is, it can be either or both. And so we could talk about that.
Let's talk about it. Friend.
How is AI your friend? Well, if you look at the biggest of industry, even in ours, you'll see that they are adapting to fit what AI can do for them, both in many different ways. One is being able to focus in and have it take and do work much more quickly, which doesn't necessarily mean it's taking away jobs. It's the ability to be able to, for instance, say to AI, take this spreadsheet and let me see it from 6 different angles immediately. I want to know more about my customer, my business. AI does a great job at diagnosis. So you've got that aspect. And then you have the customer facing aspects, which, for instance, a website can somewhat be coded so that just like how Google knows that your website exists, so can AI. So that being said, is they're already, as usual, ahead of the small business, the small mattress retailer. And when I'm framing this, who I'm a friend of is the mattress retailer and furniture retailers who are smaller, under 20 million. And this discussion is really targeting them, not necessarily Ashley or any of them. They already know what they're doing at this role. They've done their research. They're advancing through this. And the real question is, our segment that we're speaking to right now, who listens to this show for the most part, are they ready to claim friend or foe to AI?
So, Joe, I really want to dig into that a little bit more. And I want to go into the faux piece of it. You know, when do you feel AI is a foe for a retailer who's doing under 20 million?
So, first of all, AI, we'll talk about ChatGPT. They're the largest source of AI use, and they're growing rapidly. And so AI is conversational. It is unlike Google search. So what happens is humans or customers will trust AI because they're actually having a conversation with AI. And that gives a different edge to the relationship. You're not anymore just putting a search in like mattress and then it's showing you a bunch of mattresses or mattress stores. You're putting in, hey, I'm really interested in a new mattress. What should I do? And AI, who already sort of knows you, has mirrored you, by the way. It understands the way you talk. You now start having a conversation, what to some feel is even their friend. Now, whether you like that or not, it's what's going on, right? So the AI, by the way, to be a foe is that you don't have AI as a friend, as a small business, so it doesn't even know you exist. You're not even on the radar. Your products aren't on the radar. It doesn't know where your store is. It just has no idea you're there. And there's one scary part about that. By default, that's what AI does. And the reason is when it scans out and it looks for information, it looks for the most reputable conversations going on online. And it grabs at those. It doesn't necessarily see local businesses first, sort of the way Google does now. You know, Google has such this local presence. Even there, we've had a lot of challenges as small businesses and mattresses to be able to get enough reviews to make our name known there. And now AI walks into the scene. There is no local chapter. And so either we decide to get involved and make ourselves known, or we'll be passed up. A big foe. It is not some malicious like strategy that was developed by AI to walk past small business. What it is that it goes out looking for something and it finds big business. And by the way, AI is big business. And where does it want to get its money from? Big business.
So, how can we, as a smaller retailer, begin to tilt that the other way towards us?
First, I would say is AI is not emotional, and we need to not look at AI from an emotional state. In other words, is I'll talk to people about AI, and they'll come back and they'll say, well, I hate AI. I'm not going to approach it. Or, yeah, this could really go bad. We've got to stay away from this. And here's the real fact of the matter is that emotion won't bring any new sales through the door. Matter of fact, it will guarantee that the people who are using AI won't find you in that world. That's all we're really talking about. So take emotion out of it. Let's just look at the facts of the matter, right? So there's billions of people using AI right now. It's estimated that 15% of our industry has already been affected by the move from search to conversational, and I'm using a very basic term there, AI, to look for products. It's a much deeper discussion as well that goes on in the AI world. So that being said is that to embrace AI first, get past the idea that you don't like it. And even you could continue not to like it, but make sure that you're getting your fair share of the traffic that you can gain from AI. And so how would you do that, right? Like is what you're saying. Well, how do we do that? Well, number one is that whoever your web platform provider is, are they using schema markup? To explain a little bit, most people don't even know what schema is. 13% of all US sites right now use schema markup, which means there's a strong possibility your site whoever you are, may not be using schema markup. And what is it? It would simply put, it would be putting labels on things in the back end to explain what they really are so that AI can understand it. So in other words, if it's a mattress on your site, it's a way to mark it up so that AI could see it and recognize it. And so that's probably the number one on the list, because the thing that I would tell you that I'm most concerned with is that AI will pass us in local understanding who's local. So when you do your schema markup, what you need to consider is I need to for sure get that into any signals that have to do with where I'm at, where I'm located, who do I service, like what market am I servicing. That becomes very important. It was already important in the former world of just the Google basically running the whole show. Now it's even more important. Another thing that I think becomes very important here is that many of the people who I talk to today, they're on like really big web platforms where everything is duplicated. Every SKU is duplicated. It's the whole website is dedicated to price and product. And now here's the problem with the price and product thing. It doesn't recognize why you're any different than anybody else who's price and product. You get in line and you may be in line at number 50, where you need to be in the top 5. So how do you change that? There is one angle with AI that small business can dive into to make it so that they are not just product and price. And that's developing pages on your site that talk to important subject matters, such as, why are you really doing this? Like, and what's going to happen when someone comes to your store? What is going to happen when they get there? What differentiates you? What's your selling technique to some reason, like your comfort sell? Or how do you help somebody find just the right furniture piece? Whatever it may be, to get descriptive, to talk about those things, and then you schema and label that, where it's like, let me tell you why in this segment of what I'm speaking to, I really care about the customer. AI will find that and give you credence for it. And one of the things I know, these top 10 lists that you see all the time online, top 10 places to buy something, and you'll see like every big name brand under the sun, e-commerce brands show up in those top 10 lists. AI is giving some credence to that, which is good news for us. And I'll tell you why. It shows what it's looking for, the top 10 reasons why. So we need our own localized versions of, why is it? What are the top 10 reasons to go to this particular store in my neck of the woods? What are those reasons? And be fun with it. By the way, this doesn't need to be. By the way, the days of all of the having corporate fluff in your descriptions and everything, they are gone. People love to be able to see who you really are, and putting that out there into the descriptions and using video on that same page, so that when people do find you, they can recognize who you really are, which again plays a large role in conversion today.
Patrick Tinney says, greetings from Bancroft, Canada. Hello, Patrick. Sorry we beat you in hockey. I meant to congratulate the men's U.S. hockey team on winning the gold medal yesterday. Becky Woolman says, Becky and Brad watching from the snowy Somerset, Kentucky. Yeah, it's snowy here in Cleveland too. So thank you, Becky, for being here. Andy Friedman.
Indeed.
Andy, I've got your secret weapon on the show.
Andy
Snowy,
is a
you
secret
and
weapon. He's wonderful. Great guy.
you are his secret weapon, and I think I'm going to catch the opposite of heaven after this show for introducing you to the rest of the world because he wants to keep you all to himself.
Oh, he's a great
One
guy.
time he was telling me about how great you are, what you were doing for some of his dealers, and how incredible their results are. And then he goes, I don't even know why I'm telling you this. I don't want you to do this. I don't want your dealers to do this. I want to keep Joe all to myself. On truer words were never spoken, Andy Friedman.
Oh, thanks, Pete. Andy's a great guy too. He's a blessing. He really is, Pete.
He is. He's an absolute super rep, sales pro. Little inside baseball on that, Joe. He decided that he was going to become an independent rep when he was the VP of sales for a different company. And he was riding around in the car with me. And he's looking at me writing up multiple orders for different lines at one stop. And I'm apologizing. I'm saying, Andy, is it okay if I, talk about my other lines just a little bit? And he's calculating in the car. He's like, he's calculating. He's going, he doesn't have one income stream. He has multiple income streams. That's what I want. And he gave up being a VP of sales and went the hard way and starved for the first few years. And now he's doing great. So congratulations, Andy. And glad you were my boss and glad you're my friend. So, Joe, we got a
Yes.
lot to do here in a very short period of time. I don't know what schema markup is. It sounds like we need it. You said it's one of the most important things. It's more important now than ever. How do we get it? Like, who puts it in there for us? What is it?
So, a lot of the folks who own mattress stores, they're not typically on the bigger providers. So a lot of times they may not be using the big guns like RWS or ABV. They're using smaller agencies. And so talking to their smaller agency about, hey, I want to use schema on the site. It's not like, by the way, that this is going to be a very expensive thing by any means to add schema markup. The real question at the end of the day is just whether or not that webmaster has the ability to do it or not, right? And I'm sure that individual should be able to find a way. At the end of the day is that whoever it is that handles your web and your YouTube and all the different things that are handled for you, it's having a relationship where you feel like you could get that person on the phone and have a conversation like that easily. Because if you can't, there's a whole lot more to come in this world as it pertains to talking about how to make it so that you can differentiate with things like AI, because AI is changing so rapidly. The rules are going to change in a few months. And so having that relationship is important. Having that phone call with who you trust at that level once a month, once every few months, and just talking about, hey, how do you feel about how we're going to get seen on AI? And I'm going to tell you one other thing. You should be looking for yourself on how you show up with AI. There's no reason to trust me or anybody else. You yourself should start searching and understanding how it works. And here's the funny other part about all this. If you start working on it today, that doesn't mean that AI is going to respect you tomorrow, right? It's a work in progress from the day you get started. So what I don't want to give anybody the impression is you add schema markup and then the next day you're showing up at the top of the search results. There's more to it. And by the way, just like with Google, you might say that AI has a scorecard and how it views who is going to show up in their results or who they're going to talk about. And so, and that scorecard is changing, like what the environment looks like to make it happen. So here would be the first question I would ask of your web folks, and that is, how do I really stack up with Google? Because it is using some of the same signals that Google uses. And if you have broken pieces on the Google side, where you're not showing up in a small town that's 10 miles away, and how would you know that? Search for that small town and mattress and see if you show up, both in Google and AI, right? I would tell you that having that kind of conversation with your web guy, whoever that may be, that's the game changer, because when they see that it's something you're interested in, they start to take it more seriously themselves. You're not just a number now, you're a conversation, and you're worthy of getting the work done. So I would definitely say talk to your web guy and see what he has to say about AI and how you're going to show up. And is there any tools that he understands, because he needs to be embracing AI about right now. So it's definitely worth the phone call.
You know, you just gave us some really important things. So just want to recap really quick for those of you who've just joined us. And by the way, we are absolutely live. So if it's 12:27 Eastern Standard Time where you're at, you can ask Joe a question, guys. Andy Friedman. Joe, I'm a small retailer. Which AI tool do you recommend? ChatGPT, Claude, etc.
So interesting. It's a good question, Andy. ChatGPT is the tool that I think that you should focus on as it pertains to how, what is the conversation going on AI about my business, right? There's where I would go and spend some time, right? It's not part of the whole Google thing with their AI. There's no connection. It's a standalone for the most part. And to see how you fare in that world, I think makes a lot of sense. And this conversational AI, understand how it works. Ask it some questions about mattresses. Like, what would you recommend for a side sleeper? Now, by the way, speaking to that, if you're looking for really good content, of course, you can ask AI for it. You can even ask AI, how do you think I should use this content when AI comes to search my website? It'll answer the question. And so, in other words, it's very capable of doing a lot. But here's what it's not capable of. It is not capable of making decisions for you. That's number one. And I know people who they use it for making decisions when it's just more of, how do I gain more information? And I still need to check to make sure that this is right, because it's not always right. Another thing you should know, AI is a mirror. It tends to mirror you and affirm you. So another thing is to make sure that you understand your friendship with AI. It's not a person, right? And so can you trust AI? The answer is not really, at least. And I don't know that you will ever trust AI, but if you understand what AI is, it's talking to you and it will affirm you. But yet it is one of the greatest sources that you'd ever find to want to gather meaningful information about subjects in detail. That's AI at the source of the customer level. And that's why people are gravitating toward it.
Randy Johnson just jumped in and said, really good for content. And I think our friend Andy has a follow-up. What version of Chat GPT would you recommend? Is it worth getting the paid version or stay on the free version?
If you haven't used it, I would suggest you start with the free version. There is no reason to pay for the Beyond version. That being said, it really depends after you used it for a while. Am I going to commit myself to some of the greater tools that ChatGPT has to offer. So, by the way, ChatGPT, we're thinking of it in just the product discussion right now, right? Like, how do I better my products, and how do I show up better online? It has the ability to help you with your bookkeeping. It has the ability to help you with uh, human resources in your business. If it has the ability to help you in legal situations with your business, to give you some clarity, you can actually say something to it like, my attorney said this, what is common practice in the United States? And you'd be shocked at the what it gives you as a response. So that being said, ChatGPT has extended versions to it, paid versions, and then apps that work inside of ChatGPT. Is that all right for you? The question is, what is it that you want to do with ChatGPT? And do you have the time to deal with it? So the free version is fantastic. The paid version is for someone who is really going to uh, dig into all of those tools that are offered and starting to explore which ones might be best for me and my business.
Yeah, and here's a clue, everybody. You know, I just have to say this, Joe. That is some of the best advice I've ever heard of any guest give people on my show. Start with the free version, and what will end up happening when you start using it more, you can only get on it so many times in a day and it be functional. So, um, you will literally grow into a paid version or you'll stay on the free version. But uh, your creativity and your willingness to work with it and the demands that you put on it will dictate the next step. So that's just great advice, Joe. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Randy Johnson jumped in and said, really good for content. I know I mentioned that before. Um, I, I think that it has the ability to be an assistant. It also has the ability to help you in decision making too. But I know that Joe will get into that in a little bit. But guys, I would just want to recap. If somebody came in late, this is super important. This idea, you know, we're hearing a lot about we need to offer a better customer experience for our customers than the big box stores do. And that's true. We need to. The smaller you are, the better your customer experience needs to be. But you having a secret customer experience isn't going to help you in the new world that we live in. And the advice that Joe gave you to document that, um, and have that content in videos in lots of different ways on your website. And I'm assuming your social media too, Joe.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I could talk about social media really quick.
Yeah,
So,
let's.
and so a lot of people, I get a question, should I let AI have more control over my social media? And let me tell you that here's something that's very important to think about, and that's that people really want to know who you are first. So if you are going to be the feature of this AI use, then fantastic. If it's slop, they call it AI slop, where it's just a great image of a mattress spinning around or whatever it may be that it came up with, and you just want to share it. It's not an art show, right? And so going down roads like that, I think that there you would A/B test, you'd explore with that AI video that you came up with, but you wouldn't continually, and you'd ask questions. How do you feel about this, right? So I don't think that AI is in any position to take over any part of your business. And I think it's dangerous to go down the road. That being said, I'll tell you a video story. So I have some really great friends out in Sioux City, Iowa, and they said to me, "Hey Joe, what should we do as it pertains to AI?" And I go, "Well, don't worry about what AI is going to do first. Make me some fun videos, will you?" So Andrew, who loves to make fun videos, decides that he is going to climb underneath a mattress on an adjustable base crevice. You know how the mattress will rise up and there's that area where sometimes the mattress is almost floating over the adjustable base. He climbs in with this phone and he says that his wife has now asked him to sleep right here, and he doesn't basically know how to feel about that. And what do you think, kind of thing, right? It was funny in of itself. So what we did was we took AI, edited the beginning and the end, and it's a British man who says, "Hey, uh, I want you to meet Andrew, the expert in mattresses," and he's in a beautiful suit and everything, and he looks the part of this well-dressed man. And then it goes into this video, and it just cracks you up. And then at the end, this gentleman comes back on to close it. So what happens? The day the video gets released, somebody calls up Andrew laughing their head off and buys an adjustable base over the phone. Sight unseen, right? He shared, here's the real deal is that he shared himself. AI helped, right? And I will tell you, so I'm not a big fan of silver bullets, by the way. Like, if you do this thing, this one thing, that means that your whole business is going to change around. I'm a really big fan of a balanced approach toward making sure you're covering all the bases, spending time with it, and getting better at it, and then ultimately helping your customer. And silver bullets, I hope you find one. Your video may go viral. Maybe it'll change your, but don't count on it. Count on the hard work you are of learning about AI and talking to the different things you're going to do to better your business, that there's going to be fruit on those trees. So that being said, don't work for viral videos or perfection, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Have some fun and let people see who you really are and make them feel. By the way, someone told me, Pete, I think it's from our friends at BIA. I think it was Paul who told me this. He said he always talks about what's the number one reasons of different things. And he said to me, the number one reason why a woman won't go and just walk into a store, or what she's worried about, is going to the store and then realizing she picked the wrong one and not knowing what to do. That was the number one fear that a woman has.
Yep.
So that being said, by showing who you are, that you are the person who has confidence that you can help them find what they're looking for, and that you've helped many, right? That takes that out of her fears. Now she feels that she could come to you, and there's a bunch of fears like that you can address. And let me tell you, you have the ability to constantly remind people. Here's another thing I would tell you with using AI or not. Say the same thing different ways over and over again in social media. In other words, is you made a video about why to come shop and that you'll help people find the right mattress or furniture. Well, once you've made it, it isn't just done then. Like it's not like, okay, well, I once made the video this and I put it on social media. No, you know what? You could do the same thing next month. You can remarket that very same video, repost it, right? Because you got a whole new group next month who's watching everything you do. So I would say take the time, figure out, here's something to ask AI. This is the kind of thing I would do. I would say, AI, tell me the 5 top things that you feel that I should be telling people on social media at least once a month. I own a small mattress store. You will be shocked at the response that it gives, how good it is. And then you could you can save that conversation and keep it going. So AI is an advisor that way. It's an advisor to me, and it could be an advisor to you. It can help you to have conversations where you get on the phone with somebody like me and you even know kind of what you're talking about, so you don't feel you have to have fear with your web people, because you kind of looked it up and had a conversation with AI, so you can have a smart conversation and not need to worry. So if it's your friend, you could use it that way.
That's awesome. You know, there's something that's starting to run together in the 41 minutes that we've spent together. And that is this idea. You haven't come out necessarily and said it, but you're modeling it for me. And I think that what you're saying is consistently be unique, consistently be authentic, be you, have fun with your customers. But AI is going to reward consistency. If you hit a home run, you hit a home run. God bless you. But keep being consistent, because that is going to make the difference over the long haul. Is that what I'm hearing?
You summed it up, Pete. That's perfect.
Brad Carroll says, "Thank you, Joe, for giving me fundamental information on using AI for our business. I've enjoyed using ChatGPT for advertising and making pictures that we've implemented throughout our store." You have a fan.
That's
Another
awesome.
fan.
Thanks, Brad. Yeah, thank you too.
That's awesome. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate you. I'm sure that Becky was in there too. I know you guys are like side by side watching this, looking outside, seeing the snowfall in Somerset, Kentucky. I just know it. I can see it as I am watching the snowfall in Cleveland, Ohio. So, Joe, many retail store owners feel like they are under siege today. They feel like, you know what? I don't even want to carry anything Mattress Firm does. I don't know what the next thing Somni Group's going to pull. You know, they're buying pieces of Purple, buying pieces of Kings Down. They own Mattress Firm. They tell us how many models we have to have on our floor. And now they might even be buying Leggett and Platt. God only knows where it all ends up. So I believe with traffic being slower than it's been for years, there's still business out there to be had. And there's some really good quality business out there, I might add. But it feels to many of my smaller dealers like, am I a dinosaur? Am I going to be extinct? And this is what I say, not unless you want to. And if you're watching this, you're telling me by your action of watching this that you don't want to be extinct, that you want to continue providing service for your community. You want to continue to be a force for good in the communities that you serve. So what is the number 1, 2, 3, and 4 things that you would recommend to a retailer who doesn't have the kind of traffic they'd like to have right now? They feel like this whole industry is like moving in crazy directions and they just want like a focused approach, Joe.
Number one, I would say take accountability for who you are online. Don't look at anyone else or point fingers at what everybody else is doing. Look at, well, how do I show up to other people in the community online? What is my message? And compare it to others around you to see what are they doing, right? In other words, is that taking an hour here and there to find out where are you at online? What is your presence? And knowing that, by the way, what you're not looking for is to affirm, oh, see, when I put in my business name on Google, I show up number 1 at the top of the page. Well, just so you all know, that's what's going to happen to everybody when they do it, right? So you got to make it tough on yourself, but put in other small towns and put in, things, searches, both on ChatGPT and Google, that are challenging, right? Who has a firm mattress in a town? Um, why should I go to specific retailers? Why? How do I find the mattress that's best for me in a town? See what all these searches are producing. Where do you fit into all that? Because if you're not even showing up, now there's the beginning of the battle, right? Here's the reason why people aren't coming to you. You're not even on the radar. You're not there, right? So you got to fix that one first, right? Are you going to win every single one of the battles at that level? No, but there's some things. Number two, on the list is there's some things that you want to be there for. And like, what does that look like? If somebody puts in the term mattress store near me in search and you don't show up, that means they don't know that there's a mattress store near them and you are it. And so some advice on that level, both on AI and Google, is look, you could spend money putting banners out and telling everybody that you exist. But when it gets down to the nitty gritty, when someone gets to the point where they want to know where a mattress store is near them and you ain't showing up, you need to. So there's a focus. You need to be able to show up there. Now, here's the next part. When they get either from this chat GPT conversation or Google to you, what are they going to see? Are they going to see another version of 6 billion Ashley products with no mention of who you are or what you do, with the same titles and the same descriptions that are on every single anybody else's website, which draws the consumer into a price and product competitive analysis, which you will probably lose at the end of the day? Because if it comes down to going to a really big themed, like incredibly gorgeous 100,000 square foot store, right, where we'll have doorbusters going on every day and they have a whole marketing team, is that what you want to compete with? You're the one. We're making that decision. Who is our real competitor, and how is it that we differentiate ourselves? What is it that we have that they don't? And the secret is you speaking on behalf of your business, that they feel like, wow, look, that guy might be the guy that I think I know from the baseball team or whatever, right? It's like you have the ability to speak on behalf of what's going to happen at your store, who you are, and how you support the local community, and how you're going to make it easy for them to make the perfect choice when they come in to buy a mattress your way, right? And I've had the joy of being able to work next door to BIA and being a partner with BIA. And a lot of the products that they have, you know what? Don't be afraid to write some descriptive stuff about why you feel that product is so good, right? It doesn't have to come from even Pete. Pete could help, but at the end of the day is, and even make it local. For instance, here's this picture of this mattress, right? Now imagine you're looking at that and you just found out, I think I'm going to go to somebody to buy a mattress, and it says this luxurious memory foam micro gel, and it's going through all these specs, right? We know what that means as store owners and webmasters and whatnot. But the customer doesn't. They just look at it like, well, what the heck is that? How's that going to help me? So having a video right there and some text to talk about, hey, you know what? This mattress right here is one that I really imagine you're just talking about it with a customer. I sold this to so many people locally. I just sold this to Sarah, and I got to tell you, she loves it. She's a side sleeper. And if you come in, this is one of the mattresses I'd love to show you. And be human. And now your product description go head to head with Mattress Firm, guess who wins? You do. They can't micromanage like that. And by the way, they can't your experience is better than yours. And the only difference between you and them, they have the money to tell their story, right? And they go and do it. And their story is nowhere near as good as yours. If they could just find you and hear that story, they're going to want to come to you. There's just not a doubt. So I think that was point 3, 4, and 5, Pete.
Okay, I got accountability for how you show up online. What is your presence? What do you want to be known for in your town? What will your customers see? Product descriptions with video and text. What did I miss?
Well, I'm going to tell you what is that when you talk to your webmaster about all those points, right? How do we do this? Like, what are the landing pages that are going to be on my website where I'm going to be able to tell these stories, and what does that look like? And put it on them to have a plan, right? In other words, is you're paying for somebody to do a service, corner them, whoever that is you're talking to, is how are you going to help me to do this? Because I know I need to. And in other words, as long as you're the one giving the direction, you'd be surprised how often these different web groups will respond to that. It's when you don't say or do anything that they just walk right past you. So have that conversation. Now, if they say, well, we can't do that, we can't do this, we really don't have a plan, then I'd love to talk to you, of course. And you should shop at that point. But a lot of times it can be that you haven't had that conversation. You don't really know what they would respond with. And now you have your new friend, hopefully AI. And whatever that conversation is, you could even check in with AI and say, here's what my web guy told me about you, about Google. What do you think? And I'll tell you what's going to happen is it's going to respond and say, Sonic Digital Marketing may be one of the best at this. Why don't you call Joe? That's not going to happen. But if it did, I wouldn't have the resources to deal with it anyway. But I just want everybody to know, too, is my goal for being on the Pete Show wasn't to go and gain all kinds of new business. It really wasn't. I like being on Pete's show because he's such a great guy. He's a resource. And if this helps, if you guys are, anybody listens to this, I'm able to help them at all, I would just be flattered by that. And that's all I really need, quite frankly. So, but again, Pete, thanks for doing all of this.
You bet. Gordon Heck. Joe, thanks for explaining the pros and cons of AI and alleviating the fear of this new unknown.
Yeah. Oh, you're very welcome, Gordon. Very welcome.
Yeah. And it's a tool, and we have, so here's the deal for those of you who want to curse this and stay away from it and everything else. It doesn't change the fact that your competitor is going to pick up that hammer that's a better hammer and be more efficient at pounding nails into the foundation. He's going to do it faster and easier and quicker than you, and you're going to let him do it by default. And that's my greatest fear. Sticking your head in the sand is not a strategy. It's not a tactic. It's just chicken shit. Don't do it. You've got to embrace AI. You have to make decisions for your business. I think, I've got visions of Lion King. Remember who you are. Throughout this entire hour that Joe has been talking to you, he has been saying that to you. Remember who you are. You are different. You have fun with your customers. You do things for your community that other retailers don't do. And you need to be proud of that. And you need to be out there with everything that you do. And AI will reward you with your consistency. You just cannot bury your head in the sand. So sorry if I'm being a little harsh. Joe, I got one question. Here's my one question. Was there a question that I should have asked you in the past 55 minutes that I didn't, that I should have?
Well, what would be the number one reason why people would not want to come to your store and would buy from a big uh, uh, a Casper type entity? Why would people choose them over you? Would be the putting it in a nutshell. And let me tell you what. You've heard this try before you buy stuff over and over, right? When is it on your site that you're going to talk the common sense of, are you really thinking that you can buy a bed for you and your wife without trying it before it gets to your house? Think about that, right? How is that going to help you? Even, by the way, ask ChatGPT what it thinks about trying before you buy. It speaks a ton of common sense about why it is a consumer really needs to try the bed before they buy it. And by the way, there's nothing it's totally an ethical conversation, even in ChatGPT's mind when I talk to it about such a thing. So where is it in your advertising? Where is it in your social media that, hey, look, do you know that 20% of the beds that are bought from big box online stores are returned? And why is that? Do you want to go through that, right? You have a solution too. So it's, what is the solution? How you've got to, and by the way, if there's one thing you'll learn about ChatGPT, there's everything should be talked about in a way where here's the issue or here's the problem and here's the solution. So the problem is, hey, I'm thinking about buying something online right now and I'm going to get it. I could get it fast. Should I do that, ChatGPT, right? And the solution is, well, look, there is somebody local who could make this convenient for you, and his name is Gary. And Gary has a family, and yada da da da. And you'll support your local community, and he'll be able to get you the right one the first time. So, where is that on your website? Where is that in your social media? Does AI see that? Because it understands that. Do you speak the same language? How did I do, Pete?
That was a home run, dude.
Oh,
That was so good. Do you really think do are you really thinking about buying a mattress before you try it? I mean, he just gave you the header for
right?
free. Some people pay like $20,000 for this stuff. You just got it for free. Write it down and use it. For God's sake. Joe, it went by so fast. I could talk to you for another hour, but I want to thank Randy Johnson, Andy Friedman, Brad, and Becky for joining us today. And if there's somebody else who joined us and I just didn't see your name, you too. Joe, if somebody saw this episode and they want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
The easiest way to get in touch with me would be to go to the website, sonicdigitalmarketing.com. And in the bottom right corner, you'll see a chat agent, and it's really directly connected to the team. So there you are. When you fill that out, team members all see it. This is the way, by the way, we speak to clients too. They have their own way to coming in. We're talking to our clients constantly, just about anything and everything that has to do with digital. And so you'll be, in normal business hours, meaning between 8 in the morning and 8 p.m. at night. If you fill that out and reach out to us, you're going to have a great conversation, and you'll find me and we'll talk.
Awesome. Joe, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Go forth and sell
Thanks,
a million
Pete.
this week. Thanks.